she had to bring herself there in order to inform us of what is really going on and what was really going on with Mark's death. She knew before we knew that Mark had actually been executed, because she's seen the pattern, because she's gone through what we are now going through. And I want to thank Marcia so much for that, because she enlightened us that day. Yes, Mark was executed, and different circumstances, but the surrounding police corruption in conjunction with the media and the IPCC. We were warned about the IPCC, and then when we actually had dealings with them, we had Colin Sparrow overseeing our case, investigating our case for the IPCC. Colin Sparrow has been a cop for 30 years. So that didn't make us feel very confident. And when we had meetings with the IPCC, he would be telling us things about Mark as if they knew Mark and we didn't. When we questioned all of this, now they come back with, well, maybe he was leading a double life. Mark had 6 children. He was a hands-on daddy. He was always at home with his kids. You know, somebody asked to do a documentary and asked Marlon, Mark's younger brother, to play the role of Mark. And Marlon said, nobody will watch this documentary because Mark's life was boring. Because that's all he did, was play Xbox games with his kids, do things with his kids. Yes, he started going out at a late age, in his late 20s. Mark never went out raving from young, he just wanted to be a family. He started going out like weekends in his 20s. So, you know, when you say about all of Mark being this person, that person, Mark was just an ordinary guy. And when I say, if the police can murder Mark the way they did, they can murder anybody. Anybody. Because as you can see, the first thing they did when they murdered Mark was set up a smear campaign. And this smear campaign has been sustained by the Daily Mail and the Sun, who are both mouthpieces for the Conservative government. So what the Conservative government cannot say, the mouthpiece does it for them, spewing their racism and their hatred towards us ordinary people. The way they pictured Mark is not Mark. Some of these journalists should be writing fictional storybooks, because that's basically what they've done with Mark. It's fictional, and nothing they've said about Mark is true. So we've had to fight this and struggle as a new campaign, but we've had the support of people like Marcia, Rigg, Janet Alder, Christopher Alder's death 16 years ago. These women have been campaigning for years. That's what gives me the strength to carry on campaigning, and I know we're going to be campaigning for years to come. Because what we need to get is justice. Not just for Mark. Mark is not here, he cannot speak for himself. This is why I have to speak for him, because the way the media have portrayed him and our family is disgusting. Nobody knew us before Mark died. Now all of a sudden we're this notorious dangerous family that started the riots all over the country. They're not scapegoating us for that. We know exactly who started those riots. The police did. That's why they stood and watched Tottenham burn. That's why they strategically placed police cars all over Tottenham High Road and left them abandoned, knowing that the kids would come and set them on fire. They were enticing them to do that. I've got somebody who's been working on the riot 16 hours a day. That woman is in fear of her life because of what she's uncovered. The truth. We're getting nearer to the truth. And this is why now I have become public enemy number 1 in the eyes of the media, because I stood on the court steps and shouted, no justice, no peace, but I also give a black power sign. Therefore, I am to be feared. This is what the government and the media are fearing, that we are all coming together, regardless of colour, caste or creed. The River of Blood speech, Enoch Powell thought, oh, there's going to be racial violence. No. In this day and age, what's happened? You see, the white working class have become black. That's what they didn't expect. You see it. You see white guys, you see Asian guys, all dressing like black guys, talking, yes, bruv, yes, blood, everything, touch, shape. They don't like that. And this is what they are trying to break. So the Daily Mail tried to have a personal go at me to try and break me. Well, you know, sticks and stones. That's my area, that's where I came from. So basically, we have to keep up this fight, keep the struggle to get the truth. Mark was not a gangster, he had a minimal criminal record. And he would have a criminal record because he was born on Broadwater Farm. Broadwater Farm, Tottenham, is over-policed. Why? Because you have a big black community there, a very strong black community that will fight for each other and come out and support each other. They don't want that. The regeneration of Tottenham, I know Broadwater Farm is in that plan. They built a state-of-the-art school on the edge of Broadwater Farm. It was always called Broadwater Farm School, now they want to call it the Broadwaters. Mark's son, Kejar, his side is called the Willows. Now the wreck behind Broadwater Farm has been a wreck for how many years? Now they've developed the wreck and it's a beautiful park with benches to sit there. What, for us? For us? No, it's not for us. It's for when they privatise Broadwater Farm, one entrance in, one entrance out, gated community. Brilliant for privatisation. This is one of the reasons why I believe Mark was selected to be murdered. Because all you've got to do in Tottenham is take a popular member of that community, a well-liked popular member of that community, and kill them. And watch that community come out. And they did. Just like they did in the 80s. They came out because they knew Mark's death was an injustice. What we've got to do is let the whole country know and make them believe Mark's death was an injustice. And it's all part of this regentrifying of London. And so what I'm asking for is support from the public and the people and the trade unions and anybody, because we have been given permission by the High Courts now to judicially review the verdict, that perverse verdict of lawful killing, to try and get that overturned to an open verdict, which is what we want, because an open verdict means there's still questions asked. So that was great. When we got that permission, that was great. That was last week. This week we got a letter saying, you've been refused legal aid. Now, the permission that we was given to judicial review this, this verdict, we've been given a limited time within to do that. So if we don't have the legal aid, we cannot fight that. And we've been given a short space of time in order to get this done. And I think it's a plan, again, to knock us back, to keep us down, to make us go away. But like I say, money or no money, if I have to go and stand outside Tottenham police station and camp there day in, day out, I will do that until we get justice. No justice, no peace.